Alright guys, so we're going to do SF9 today. They just happen to be in my feed, so that's how I decided who I was doing today. So let me see what we get. Whoa. Okay. First card to see is the Three of Wands. This one. We have the Four of Coins and the Lovers in reverse. Okay. Clarify Three of Wands. Clarify Four of Coins. Okay. I don't know a ton about this group, so I can't even like start to jump into who I think who this last part might be about, but it seems like a specific person there. So I think the story is in this first two units. We have the Three of Wands, which is kind of about moving forward. It's like almost like clear sailings. But then it's also clarified by the Wheel of Fortune in reverse, which is upheaval, setbacks, and bad luck. So the Wheel of Fortune upright is like sort of destiny. So this is almost kind of doing the opposite, where it's like something isn't exactly going to go as planned. And there's kind of a reason for this, like universe-wise. It's like it's not necessarily meant for them. So whatever like this is something they think should happen, but it's not really for them. Like, I don't really see much drama here. I mean, it could be. Let me clarify. I want one more card. What is the upheaval? New direction. Ace of Wands. So maybe the upheaval is like the direction they're going is no longer working. When it's like, if you look at the sort of marketing research side of things, there's no reason it shouldn't be working, but it's not. And they have to go through a new direction. It's going to be like complete opposite of what anybody's ever seen out of them. And that's kind of what is supposed to happen. Like, that's the next step. Because we do have the Four of Coins, which kind of talks about security, so money coming in and being stable. We do have it clarified by the Nine of Wands, which is drained, resilient, and pushing through. So I think to get that financial stability they're seeking, they're gonna have to push through some like rough spots here in 2022. So I think there's going to be a point where something's not going to go the way they hoped. And they're going to come to realize that the only way they're going to achieve the stability they're seeking as an idol group is to sort of almost completely change. This is probably going to be really shocking for fans, to be honest. I don't know how they're going to handle it. Because it's not like a small change. It's a big change, and it feels kind of permanent to me. So I think it's going to be a bit of a shock. So I want to see, what is the fans' reactions? Okay. All right. So we do have the Justice card, which is about balance, cause and effect, which kind of makes me wonder if fans are also the cause of this change. So it's like perhaps fans were the ones that originally pushed this idea on them, and they didn't really think anything was ever going to happen, but because they put the idea out there, now it's going to happen. So it's a little bit of like, wait, I didn't really mean it sort of feeling to this, like on the fan side. So it's like, it kind of makes me wonder what fans may have said at some point. I'm using fans loosely because this kind of energy doesn't feel like a true fan of like a group or like of any musician. It's kind of like a double-sided sword to me, or double-edged swords, the actual word. But that's what it kind of reminds me of. It's like very backstabby type energy. I don't know what their fan group sort of like, and how much like toxicity exists within it. Because each group seems to have varied levels of this, but I don't think they've necessarily realized the power of their words and how they may have really hurt people. Particularly like any sort of members within this group. Like their words have definitely really kind of cut deep. And I don't know who, like this could be a specific person or this could be multiple people. But this definitely deals with fan interactions. Odd. Okay. But then we do also have the Three of Cups, Ace of Wands, Ace of Coins, and the High Priest here. So, like, there's going to be a lot of good things that do come from this. Like, fans are going to be super excited because they are succeeding, and they can see sort of, like, the manifestation that SF9 has created for themselves, given financial opportunity. This could even include, like almost world tour type energy for whatever this change is. I'm not even sure. Like, it's probably more, I'm thinking image-wise, to be honest. Because that's the only thing I think that would have this much power within an idol group. Because, like, an image really makes or breaks groups. Like, especially if they're trying to reach a specific audience. What makes a group popular here in Korea is different from what makes a group popular like worldwide. We also have the High Priest here. They could have, so fans could see that this opportunity, like this change, also puts opportunities out there for them to do like collaborations with other musicians. Because I think it will make their image more, like, what's the word I want? Like, have a little bit more of a duality to it, to where it can be adapted to whatever situation. Like, for me, it feels like their image currently is very, like, set in stone. And this is probably not even the group's doing, but rather the companies. And the company is kind of setting them up to not be successful based. They're using perhaps maybe sort of old techniques to build K-pop groups into successful ones, or it could even be like old marketing research I heard too, which is odd. Okay. So into like this lovers in reverse. So this is talking about trust issues, detachment, conflict. So this could play a little bit into the beginning where it was talking about conflict. So there could be some trust issues within the group, or this could be one specific person that has like a lot of insecurities when it comes to attachments, and it kind of affects the whole group. By insecurities with attachment, this doesn't mean they're not close with everyone. If anything, they're almost too close to where like this feels like smothering type energy. It's where like they're afraid to sort of let people go even a little bit because they're afraid that they'll like never come back to them. So this person, like, deep-seated like traumatic events at some point, dealing with abandonment. And I don't think this is something anybody's really necessary. Like, if you saw this person or you met this person, you would never imagine that like they had insecurities like this. They mask it very well, and like the group within itself kind of almost feels like they walk on eggshells dealing with this person. This person could be an air sign with the King of Swords. At some point, they could really be kind of cold, typical like air sign type energy. Let's see what else I can find out about the situation. Yeah, we're getting a lot of reversals of major arcana. We also have the Strength in reverse and the Chariot in reverse. It's somebody that has like a lot of insecurities. A lot. And these insecurities can also come off as aggression. So it's like, I see two ways they can sort of act out when they feel insecure. One is like just explosive, to where it's like intimidating, but it's like there's no real bite to the yelling. It's just yelling. And for some people, I think it kind of like makes them recoil within the group because they're like, whoa. But it's like the words they're saying aren't cruel. But then there's like an other side of this person that's like very sharp and cutting with their words. And the thing is, they don't have to yell to do this. Like when they're yelling, it's like, okay, you're just blowing off steam. But it's like there's also this passive aggressive too, where it's like little sort of jabs, you could say. But they're almost like really sort of almost like very personalized to each person, whoever like pissed them off the day. Like it's very almost kind of manipulative type energy when it comes to like emotionally. It's very odd. Okay. I just want to see. I want one more clarification. Is this sort of negatable? Is this able to be corrected? One more card, please. Yes. Okay. So for everybody that's like concerned, this is something that can be corrected. This is only really going to be corrected by sort of a self-evaluation and growth. This person may need to take like a significant hiatus to sort of get control of this, because it definitely feels like kind of out of control sort of issues. Because we do have the Judgment card, so this could also tell me this person may be a Libra, which goes back to the King of Swords with air energy. This person could be a Libra, Sun, Moon, or Rising. We also have the Six of Swords, which tells me it will calm down and there's going to be a lot of healing at some point. This person may be gone for a period of time, and it may be even a longer period of time than what people expect. Okay. We also have the Emperor here, which is usually all about authority. This person could be a person of authority within the group, or the other option is that there is sort of like a mentor type person that comes into this person's life, or even like a really close friend that went through something similar and has sort of already corrected these mistakes, that kind of guide this person into how to fix the problems they've created, especially if this is within the group. So this is somebody in the past that could have been an idol that maybe is no longer an idol, or if they are, like they feel like they are sort of a solo artist, and this person will tell them that whatever their situation now doesn't have to become theirs, like, or this person's situation. Like, you can fix this if you're willing to sort of do this self-growth and sort of admit your mistakes and like realize people aren't necessarily going to forgive it, but you can move forward and correct it in a way. Like, and if they do forgive, it's because you put in the work. It's not just going to happen just because you put in a little bit of effort. Like, it has to be like long-term change. This really feels like a former idol, to be honest. Like somebody that was like, look, I was just like you, and it destroyed my career. And this person's trying to guide this person into healing. And I do think this person, this Emperor energy, will be a very good influence moving forward. So it's really Pacific. Not really where I thought this was going, but that's where it went. And let's go into some Oracle decks and see what's happening. I have a feeling the direction the Oracle decks will go, but we'll see what comes out because it's always. Oh. Alright, that's gonna stay down. Let's go Angels, Ancestors, and Spirit Guides. Let's see what sort of guidance they have for SF9 in 2022. Okay, so I'm starting backwards because the Elder came out. This deals with ancestral patterns, aka generational trauma. So this person is reenacting sort of a trauma that they've is sort of been passed down to them. And of course, with Encanto coming out, this has become like a very popular term now. So I'm sure some of you will know what I'm talking about. But this is like sort of where they're repeating patterns they've always seen. But the problem is you have intuitives in this group, and they can't necessarily handle this. They're very sensitive to it. So this person kind of feels like they're realizing that what they're doing is very hurtful and they want to change, but they don't know how. And that's kind of where that Emperor energy comes in. And oddly enough, we have the Shaolin, or Shaolin. Shalom is Hebrew. We're not talking Hebrew. Okay. So we have the Shaolin Master, which kind of almost gives me a Emperor type vibe from this card. So whereas like this person is going to teach this person how to let go of this and how to be more graceful in their actions and in their words. Because I feel like they can be very sharp with both of them. And this person is going to teach them to sort of flow a little bit better with life versus trying to control everything. And that's kind of the big thing I sense with this person is like they tend to try to control like different members in the group, or when things don't go their way, then they explode. So there's very sensitive in like intuitives, like high intensity like empath abilities. Like I'm not talking like a little bit, like I'm talking significant amount of empathic abilities where if this person comes into a room, you might see them like almost instantly pull away from them because it's like they can feel that sort of trauma around them and they want no part of it because they know like nothing good is going to come from it, from them being around it. They don't want to cause problems is what I'm getting, but they know as soon as they're with this person, like particularly alone, that things are going to go south quickly. And oddly enough, we also have some duality here with the sun and the moon. So going back to what I was talking about, duality, the sun is sort of enjoying success and happiness. So definitely, there is success coming, and they need to sort of embrace every sort of step of success that they get, and just be in the moment. So that's definitely a thing. Going back to the moon, it does talk about taking intuitive messages, but this felt like a person to me. They could have a very strong moon, perhaps. Like moon might be very dominant in their natal chart. These two people kind of feel like a pair to a degree. Like, oh god, that's gonna be taken way out of context. Like they're sort of like best friend, soulmate type energy, like very platonic type feeling here. But you don't see one without the other, like very yin and yang. So where this person's very sensitive and maybe with John, this person's very extroverted and more like thicker skinned. Like there isn't much that bothers them. This could be a fire sign, so Leo, Sagittarius, or a Aries. It feels strong, Leo. I'm getting strong because here's what I see happening. Like I'm seeing a very significant scenario where this person comes in, the person with all this dark trauma around them, comes in. Sort of these two sort of butt heads, and this person's getting kind of nasty with what they're saying to this other one, and this person comes in soon as that starts to happen and will like rip into this person. Like this person's like very sunny personality typically, but at a drop of the fly you get like as soon as something's going on that is not in everyone's best interest, where someone's maybe being mean to someone, this person kind of loses it to a degree. It's like this is when you can see their true like power. Like this is why I definitely think this person is a Leo, because Leos tend to do this, where generally they are more passive than what people think of a fire sign, but they're also fiercely protective. And soon as some sort of conflict comes up where they feel someone is the underdog, they will protect them. And this is when you can see the true sort of lion come out within them, because so the lion is like king of the jungle. They are like in their they're like one of the most powerful zodiacs in my opinion. Like when it comes up straight power, it's hard to beat a Leo, especially when they are sort of triggered into a conflict. Like people see Leos as very stubborn, which is true. And the other factor is that this stubbornness is almost unbeatable when you have an argument with them. And also this fierceness, especially if they're protecting someone. A Leo is the last person you want to get a fight into because they're not going to back down. They're not going to give up. And they are going to just let it rip. Because they are still a fire sign. There's a lot of passion, a lot of like fire in there. This person could have some earth in their chart too, because the kind of, or maybe it could be Gemini. Because what I see them doing is they know exactly what to say. It could be Virgo too. It's either Virgo or Gemini that's also in their chart, where they know exactly what to say to this person to shut them up and to get them to like back off. And they don't really care about the yelling this person does or the passive aggressive energy, because what they do is they match it. Like I could see a lot of screaming matches going on in between these two. Like this person, it's like, but the thing is, at the end of the day, like this Leo type person just doesn't take this personally. They know it's not truly who this person is, it's just their drama, or like drama, their trauma sort of like how it manifests into who they are, like into their behaviors. Like they can realize that this person's behavior is not their personality, but they're also not going to tolerate them hurting other people. So it's like, it's not that this person doesn't like this one. It's just they don't tolerate their behavior, if that makes sense. So it's like, it's not personal. And this person could think that it's personal, but it's really not. It's just this person wants to protect everyone from also getting hurt. So it's like, this is some crazy energy within the group I didn't expect. I wasn't expecting it to go this far. I expected that healing trauma was going to come up, but I didn't expect any, like, the conflict, because I originally didn't think there was any, which kind of proves that, like, these are, like, not edited at all. I don't do these beforehand because I completely contradicted myself, and sometimes that happens. So let's go into, oh, I'm forgetting this deck, the Awakened Soul. Sometimes I forget this deck's name. I hate shuffling these, as I usually complain about, because they're big. Ooh, got a reversal. That doesn't happen that often in this deck. Because we have a shadow, I have to look it up in the book real quick. Nope, I went past it. Okay, so we do have one thing, one shadow, which is knowledge, which in its shadow aspect is ignorance, intellectual superiority, unwilling to share your knowledge, and only looking at things one-dimensionally. So this could be a little bit of narrow-mindedness going on. This also could be a bit of... This kind of goes with that clash of egos I got, where one person thinks they know everything, and everyone should just listen to what they have to say and not, like, argue with them. And then you have someone who's maybe not, like, as well educated as them, but they're like, heck no, I'm not going to do that. And they're very more intuitive based, to where they're going based on their gut feeling, which very Leo, if you ask me. So it's like very clash. Like it's like a crazy ego clash that's gonna be hard to negate. Like, this is not something easy to do. Because here's the thing. Fire signs and air signs are amazing when they get along. But when they don't, they are a nightmare to deal with. Because the air feeds the fire, and then you also have the air. You can also try to extinguish the fire, and then, yeah, generally it gets messy. Moving on from that, whatever. We also have wisdom here. Authentic, authentic, I can't apparently English, but we got this card. And we have surrender. So let me look up the wisdom, because another card I don't truthfully get that much. This is kind of all about letting control and trusting the universe. That's kind of what that goes into. So the wisdom here. This is sort of a call into doing some reflection, which is obviously needed right now, in particular for this group, because they have some issues happening. it's sort of where they need to learn from the mistakes that are happening currently to prevent more issues happening like this or similar to it in the future. And maybe they're not necessarily being as careful with long-term effects of what they're doing. Like they could be a little bit reckless right now with like maybe their planning or how they're interacting with other people. Like not even within the group, like even with outside. I think they're kind of forgetting about how important connections are in the industry. So authenticity. I'm not saying that right, and I'm sorry. I don't know why I can't pronounce this word today. But this is kind of being true to who you are. We do have the butterflies, which are symbolic of transformations. So whatever sort of like image change that's coming on, it's going to be very more authentic. There we go. To their true personalities. Like you're going to see a lot, like it could be big shifts into how people like sort of the mask that they wear as an idol is going to really change to be more like their real personalities, and people are going to be like, whoa, what just happened? Like that's totally not the energy I get from this person like before this change. And the surrender card is kind of letting go of control and let the universe take over. Because you see this little canoe or kayak. It could be kayak. I can't tell. It's really tiny compared to this big, probably a sperm whale and like a baby. Where like this whale easily could kill this person in that boat. So they're just sitting there and waiting for the whale to move and trusting that the whale is just going to keep on moving. Um, Overall, when it comes to these conflicts that are happening, it is easily fixable and it will eventually get fixed. It's just going to be a process where the person needs to first freely choose to change, sort of almost remove themselves from everyone for a while and work through their problems. And when they come back, really be able to honestly have a real conversation with everybody and apologize for their behavior and sort of make a strong commitment that it was no longer going to occur and that they will do whatever they need to earn the trust back. I hope that kind of made sense. It kind of went down a path I wasn't really prepared for. Obviously, there was a reason I was called to do this reading, and I hope you check out some of my other videos I have going on right now. So thank you, and bye.